2017's been a good year for Bob Mikes. With wins already under his belt this year in the Lionheart Challenge Series and the Lionheart Retro Series, Mikes proved he was equally capable of visiting victory lane in the Delora DW12 with an impressive strategic win under the lights in the Kentucky 200 presented by Dragonfly Racing. After a modest 19th place qualifying effort, Mikes consistently worked his way forward while championship favorites Dan Guerin, Jake Wright, Andrew Kinsella, and Brian Yasek battled the front of the field in the early laps. By the midway point in the race, Mikes had positioned his Von Hansen's Delora inside the top 10. A key moment in the race came on lap 66 with a caution flag slowing the field right in the middle of the second pit window. A group of leaders remained on track while the majority of the field, including Mikes, pitted for fuel and tires. He emerged from the pit stop in 12th position, but unlike many ahead of him, Mikes had enough fuel to complete the race on a single stop. With no cautions in sight, those who rolled the dice and remained on track were forced to pit early. Among the leaders who were short on fuel, pole sitter Dan Guerin and teammate Ian Adams, along with the AGR duo of Jason Galvin and Jason Robarge. Among those using the more conservative strategy, points leader Kinsella, second place Yasek, and Mikes, who became the leader of the pack when both Kinsella and Yasek found trouble on pit lane during their final stops. It was that conservative strategy that proved correct, and Mikes eventually cycled back to the lead shortly before a late caution ended the race with 3 laps to go. Rookie of the Year contender Ryan Otis finished second, matching his earlier podium result at Phoenix. The strong finish moves him to second overall in the rookie battle, 42 points back of Kinsella. Joe Branch enjoyed his first podium of the season with a third-place result. Pole sitter Guerin would finish 17th, the best result amongst those who chose the alternate fuel strategy. Engineered to win, built to last, nothing beats the feel of a true hydraulic braking system in the world of sim racing. HPP's hydraulic pedals and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. For more info on HPP and the products they offer, go to hppsimulation.com. And for more information on the Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by First Medical Equipment, head to lionheartracingseries.com.
The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on. I think
He missed the complete that. He's crazy stuff.
Side Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eck.
For these drivers, it isn't about the largest purse in Lionheart history, it's about keeping the memory of Dan Weldon alive. Any one of the 42 drivers can win, but to do so, they will need speed and determination. Rookies must battle hardened veterans, and all must conquer an assortment of roads and ovals.
On the inside, can he make it stick? He loses momentum. No, he cannot make it stick. Race pulls ahead. There's nothing they touch. The winner is going to be Big Joe. No, it's Stouffer. I called it wrong. He's going to try to close the door out of pit exit, and I think he has to.
With the history of double-digit winners per season, the challenge will be harder than ever. Which one will ultimately be crowned Lionheart champion? You're watching the Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by First Medical Equipment, the premier American open-wheel championship on iRacing, exclusively on GSRC.
The Lionheart IndyCar Series presented by First Medical Equipment comes to the southern tip of New York's Lake Seneca. This afternoon, Watkins Glen International is the host venue for the Grand Prix at the Glen. Round 6 of 24 on the Season 5 calendar, and all the Delora DW12 road course action from green flag to victory donuts can be seen live as it happens here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. Hello from the Finger Lakes and welcome to Von Hansen's Countdown to Green. Over the next 15 Streamy Award-worthy minutes, you'll be furnished with all the storylines, all the stats and facts you'll need to fully appreciate the Grand Prix at the Glen that will immediately follow. I'm Bill Soupson. Joining me in the booth, as always, is Sean Crackers Ambroth. Jed Yaman is the director, and Dougie Beard is the camera guru. Last season, Jake Wright got around pole sitter Christian Valerian, still earning Wright his first of many career road course victories. But Wright's not the only driver to know success here. 2 months ago in the companion Lotus 79 series, Ryan Otis ran away from Wright to win by more than 22 seconds. Sean, with Otis and Wright on the grid, a new winner at the Glen could be a tall order.
Yes, sir, it could. And I'll tell you what, Sue, first thing we got to remember is everything on this Countdown to Green show is brought to you thanks to Von Hansen Meat Market. Since 1983, Von Hansen's has delivered personalized full service in a friendly, old-fashioned meat market environment. They offer a large and ever-expanding selection of meat products and menu ideas ranging from casual gatherings to special occasions. For more information, please visit vonhansens.com. Now, Soup, let's get on to the track info. We are here at Watkins Glen. Welcome everyone here on iRacing Live and the Global Sim Racing Channel, right here in Watkins Glen, New York, at the southern tip of Seneca Lake. Now, initially, public roads in the village were used for this race course, but in 1956, a permanent circuit was opened. Except for a few changes, though, this circuit layout has more or less been the same since about 1971. The most noticeable alteration to the original layout is the inner loop, added in 92, just before Turn 5, as a result of the fatal accident that the previous year claimed the life of NASCAR's J.D. McDuffie. Now, the track history isn't limited to racing. The circuit has also been the site of many music concerts, including the 73 Summer Jam, and 600,000, yes, that's 600,000 fans, Sue, came to see the Allman Brothers and the Grateful Dead, and of course, the band. Yes, Robbie Robertson and the boys. Now, today, it's all about racing, where the drivers will need to negotiate 11 corners over 3.4 miles of asphalt and concrete. But the best way to get an idea of what it's like to go around this place is to jump on board the GSRC DW12 and take a lap.
All right, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC DW12, so let's do a lap around Watkins Glen. Coming down to turn 1, this is a great place to pass. Just be careful not to overshoot it with the downhill braking. Also, despite the paved runoff, drivers will want to avoid going wide on exit because the bumps could bog the car down. And you're going to need all the acceleration you can as you climb uphill through the S's and onto the backstretch. A good draft could keep you in play if you're tight behind someone. Just watch out for the aero wash. Most of the day's battles are likely to see side-by-side action here. Once you hit the bus stop, though, it's back to single file. Make sure and keep it off the curbs to keep the car nice and planted. Now we head into the carousel, which will require patience. Getting on the power too early could send you plowing into the grass or worse, the outside wall. From there, we plunge down into the chute. Be wary not to let the car get out from under you because there's absolutely no runoff on the outside of this turn. Continuing downhill, we switch left to set up for the toe of the boot. There's a fair bit of banking here, but try not to get greedy on the exit as the car is likely to understeer off. Now we begin to climb back uphill, and you've got another potential passing spot into the heel of the boot. Be wary of the curbs on the inside, which can unsettle the car, and be gentle on the power on the exit. You can see even Amjad nearly spins it. Now it's into 9, where the off-camber nature makes it especially tough to nail the line. Then it's a short blast into Indianapolis. It's a very fast corner in the IndyCar with only a slight lift to get you through. After that, quickly switch back for the final turn, use the banking but stay off the tire barrier, and you've managed to complete a lap around Watkins Glen International.
Amjad Yaman on the wheel, Joe Peak on the mic, taking us around the Glen. Now it's my turn to take us around the point standings. 5 races in the books. Andrew Havakech Kinsella has his top 10 streak, and nevertheless, the adrenaline driver remains in the lead ahead of No Name's Brian Yosick by 10 points. A 5th place at Kentucky moves Yosick's No Name partner Jake Wright up 5 spots into 3rd. Adrenaline puts a 2nd driver inside the top 5 in the form of Joe Branch, who was 3rd last time out. And I have to point out, Ryan Otis way down in 8th is misleading, as the Streamline driver will be able to drop his no-show result. Last driver of note on the merits of his Bluegrass win, welcome back to the Overray, Bob Mikas, now sitting in 14th. Let's go ahead now and look at the team championship. Winning the day at Kentucky was No Name Racing, scoring 132 points, Jake Wright, James Grahul, and Brian Yazig all chipping in to keep that team in the lead. 9 points back on the day was Ryan Otis, Travis Jagerliner, and James Paulison for Streamline Racing, who moved up a spot into 5th. We should note that Travis Jagerliner is not here today. Storms in his area has knocked out all the power, so he's in the dark right now. When you watch this on replay, Travis, I hope you came out okay. And it wasn't just Robert Micah's win that got Controlled Chaos third for the day. Dave Barber and Scott Bolster made nice contributions to the team's 118-point total. Controlled Chaos climbs into 7th on the chart. Adrenaline and Hashtag Nailed It swap positions in 2nd and 3rd, while AGR holds station in 4th. Sean, what about the rest of these?
Soup, let's look at the rookie standings real quick now. By way of his dominance here early in the season, Andrew Kinsella finds himself at the top, with Ryan Otis looking up there, 42 points behind. Close battle between him and Michael Goodman. You see Otis up to 2nd, Goodman down to 3rd. Both proved to be contenders in tonight's race. Jagerliner, unfortunately, by not being here, will probably slide a little bit to James Paulson and Collins, and then you go all the way back to Turnbull, Tyler, and Jared sitting down there in 12th, 13th place. Really, really good battle, though, in the top 6 heading into, in this point of the season right now. Let's move on to the manufacturer standings. These are the ones we love to look at every week, Soup. Toyota holding strong on top right now. They've been on top since this season started, and they don't show any signs of giving up, but Chevrolet close behind, 79 points. They can make this up. Mazda making a pretty good run at it. There's several fast Mazdas in the field tonight. Then you go back to the Blue Oval. Ford sitting back at 506 points. They've got a lot of work to do. They've also got to look out for the battle from Honda behind. Mercedes, Tesla don't look to be much of a factor yet, but watch out for Mercedes. They could show their strength late and possibly get up into the top 3. Let's talk about the Sim Money standings soon. All right, here we go. Andrew Kinsella again. Right now he rules the roost here in the Lionheart IndyCar Series. Sits there with $534,500. Closing is Jake Wright. Here he comes. And Brian Yazig just about $25,000 back. Looking pretty good there himself. These guys need to get busy. Michael Gray, Korhula, Goodman, they're all still sitting there in that $300,000 range, Soup. And it's time to start making some money and get yourself up there with the likes of Yazig, Wright, and Kinsella.
One thing that you don't notice on there before we look at the race details, Area 51, they're going to need to file bankruptcy. They are actually in the red. And then to follow up on our manufacturers championship, we have a newcomer, Frank Beiser, is in here now. I don't think he has a manufacturer so far, so I'm going to recommend, here's one. How about Nash Rambler? There's somebody that needs maybe a car. The Nash Rambler in him.
Actually, I saw Frank Beazer was actually in a Honda suit, so I think he'll register as a Honda. Yeah, I'm sorry.
All right,
I'm still trying to get somebody to take Tucker.
There you go. Tucker will work. Yeah. Let's talk about the series details.
All right, welcome to the Lionheart IndyCar Series, brought to you by First Medical Equipment here in Season 5. This season, 16 ovals, 8 road courses. This is one of them tonight. Round 6 of 24 here. The Dallara DW12 is riding with a fixed setup for all these drivers that they've worked on, agreed on, and settled that this would be the best one to run here tonight. So this will be exciting, folks. 42 drivers on this roster. This is always worth reminding everyone. $1,800 in cash, with the league champion winning $250 plus a set of HPP pedals valued at $1,250. Total cash and prizes total $3,450. Soup.
Woo!
All right, now the weather here today. All right, it's 76 degrees outside. It's 103 degrees Fahrenheit on track. Cloud sprinkled afternoon sky, folks. About 55% humidity and winds out of the north, about 2 miles an hour.
All right, so what's on tap for the race?
Well, here right now we're qualifying 2 laps. Okay, you get 2 laps to qualify, and this race tonight will be 30 laps, Soup, 100 miles, 2 stops to get it done. Max fuel, I think, is going to be about 13 laps. I don't think you can push it much further than that. Now, incidents this evening, if you get over 12, and that's getting tires off the track, making contact with your opponents, or just not being able to control the car, You get over 12 of those, you will lose 3 championship points. You get over 17, you'll DQ from the event and lose 5 championship points. So critical to keep that car on track and out of trouble because you don't get any fast repairs. Something special here on the road course. The Dallara DW12 does use the push to pass on the road courses. The drivers will get 10 of those this evening. Now, yellow flags. Let's talk about that real fast. There aren't any yellow flags, Soup, okay? But if there is trouble on the track, race control can use the option to throw a yellow flag if needed, okay? If the entire field gets stopped behind an accident, and we may see one of those come out. Now, the points, standard points this evening. Next week, we'll have our first Triple Crown race where everything will be worth double the points, Soup, and can't wait to get that done at Pocono. But first, we got to get through Watkins Glen tonight.
Okay, qualifying looks like it is just wrapping up. So what I think we'll do is we'll run down the starting grid here, and then we'll go over our in-car cameras. Then if we have time, we'll go ahead and give you your trivia question before we go green. We have a whole pace lap, so we can probably get that in. So let's see what we got going on for our starting grid right now. It looks like on the front row, it's going to be, well, it's Jake Wright, and he's going to be inside of Michael Goodman.
Boy, and look at that row two. James Grahula in the Patriot Fire Cup TW12 will start third. Dan Karen in the Barber Financial TW12 will start fourth.
Ryan Otis and Dustin Wardlow, the Candyman, in sixth position.
Ooh, the Candyman. Jason Galvin will start inside of row 4. Michael Gray, the Racing Kangaroo, will start 8th.
Fifth row made up of Andrew Havakech, Kinsella, and Ron Hacker.
All right, row 6, going to be Christopher and Brian. Put it out, Yazzie.
Then we have Pierre Degla and James Paulson in 13th and 14th.
Row 8, Ian Adams, Bob Mikas.
Jason Robarge and Brandon Lincoln make up the next row.
All right, row 10 going to be filled out by Patrick Taylor and Jonathan, the real thing, Goke.
In the blackjack spot, it is George Anzaldo. Double deck spot, Scott Bolster.
All right, row 12, Eddie Tutwiler and Rory Collins.
Next row is Frank. How are we doing this? Is it Beiser?
Beezer.
Okay. And Jared Turnbull.
All right, row 14, the Big Joe Show, Big Joe Hassert and Jack Bogan.
Chris Lanini and Vincent Bluthethal, 29th and 30th.
All right, 31st, going to go to Michael Peters. Tony Showen will start 32nd today.
Peter Edwins, last car to put in a qualifying time. Matthew Mercer behind him.
All right, row 18, going to be Robert Bluen, Dave Barber, and then the last starter in this field, 37th, will be Mitchell Moeller.
Let's go ahead and talk about... Oh, and now as it's time to go racing here, we're going to remember that when you do want to go racing, that nothing beats the feel of a true hydraulic braking system from HPP Simulations, designed and manufactured in the USA on state-of-the-art CNC equipment. HPP hydraulic pedals and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. For more information, please visit hppsimulations.com. Okay, now what we'll do is look at our in-car cameras.
Yes, sir. Let's start with Michael Gray, the Racing Kangaroo with the Race Center onboard camera tonight. Race Center, a sim racing facility down there in Australia, Soup. A couple of locations in Sydney, I believe. And we'll be on with him, and we'll also be on with Michael Goodman tonight, the rookie with AGR Motorsports onboard camera. We'll be following his progress this evening. And then we will go to our featured driver of the race, Andrew Kinsella, with the Lock Precision onboard camera. Soup, opening round win at Homestead, coming off 13th at Kentucky. Andrew is he's the man to watch right now.
Our point leader. Okay, as they work their way through the carousel right now, let's go ahead and give you your trivia question right now. We'll squeeze this in. Hey, with Fernando Alonso announcing that he's going to race in Indy 500 to try to join Graham Hill as the only driver to win the Triple Crown, Indy, Le Mans, and Monaco. Today's trivia question, kind of easy. We'll give you a hard one. Who are the only 2 drivers to own 2 jewels of the Triple Crown, with one of the jewels being the Indy 500? Okay, that's one you can probably get without too much thought. Sean's going to be monitoring that, and we'll give you We'll announce that at the very end of our race, who our viewer who's lucky enough to get this. And you don't win a prize, but you do win our admiration, right, Sean?
Absolutely, you win our admiration. Yes, definitely. And we want everybody to participate and try not to use Google on that one. Think about it. Just think a little bit on that one. That's all you need to do.
I stumped them last time. We'll throw them a bone, keep them interested. That's how we do it. Drivers now working their way through 8 as they finish up the boot, working through the heel right now. Coming up to turn number 9, which we were talking about. For me, this is the hardest corner for me to get right, Sean. This over 90-degree left-hander here.
Yeah, I think we all universally agreed. This is probably one of the bigger trouble spots on track for most of us to navigate through. Turn 9 is very, very tricky because you're cresting a hill right there, having to get the car slowed down and get around carefully that left turn. The grip levels are very, very low right there. But, Soup, we're getting ready to kick this thing off. They've just about reached turn 11 here.
All right, let's go ahead and look at our front row. Up in the very front there, that's car number 1, Jake Wright on the pole. He races number 1 because he's your champion. Sitting outside of him, rookie Michael Goodman. Gather up the chickens, take cover behind the cows. The horses are out of the barn, and Jake Wright leads them down into the first corner. Tucking into second position. That looks like it is going to be Krahula got into second there. They're battling side by side. That's Goodman. No, that's Dan Guerin getting third, and then back behind him, Goodman.
Boy, Tony Shallen had trouble in the 90, got really slowed down, and it looks like Matthew Mercer suffered the worst in the 90. He's all the way at the back, Soup.
Front driver starting to pull away, right, leaving the guys behind, but the fight is really back as they work their way through the bus stop. It looks like it's going to be okay. So far, everybody gets through. Pretty good job, Sean. They all made it through.
I think so, Soup, but here's where it starts to get tricky as we head down to the boot. Watch out for the toe as they all scream down to the toe. Everybody got to try and keep that car on track. Grip levels are just super low right now.
So far, so good. There is a little 2x2 battle going on in the back. That's Rory Collins trying to peek in there. Pretty much single file all the way around except for Collins. Lap 1 is over. Let's give Jake Wright credit for, well, he's still got a little bit of ways to go. Sorry, don't mean to hurry up there. I consider the heel being done there on that one. He's working his way through 10. Through 11 now. Here comes our leader. He's so far out in front, he's going to get there quick.
Oh, we got trouble. Soup, we got trouble down.
Ian,
out of the boot.
Big one. Ian Adams involved in this one.
Coming out of the boot.
Yeah, what happened looked like Adams got squiggly, getting just by his Paulson. And then he collected Jonathan Goke. Goke's the last one to the scene, Sean. He's the third one in. You'll see Paulson in the red car up ahead. Squeaks by. He got a little bit of damage.
Yeah, Goke just had nowhere to go there. What a shame. Adams, Robarge is going to have major damage on his DW12.
You can see the rainbow machine go by as well, so Robarge got into it also, huh?
Yeah, he got crunched. Just really terrible. Jake Wright, though, out to a blazing lead already here, Sue.
Well, Race Control did not throw a yellow there, and I thought they actually might, as the track was pretty well clogged, but they got through. We were looking there at Jason Robarge.
Yeah, Ian Adams already taken his car behind the wall. He is done for the night. Jason Robarge still trying to limp his machine in, Sue.
Okay, now go ahead.
I was going to say, he's just now on the toe. Everybody getting around carefully, very carefully. Robarge damaged heavily on that car.
And let's go ahead as they wrap up lap number 2. Let's take a breath here, and we will run down where they stand. Way out in front is Jake Wright. He's out there by about 3 seconds. But then we have some interesting stuff. It is James Motley Krahula in second. Dandy Dan Guerin following him. Rookie Michael Goodman running back there in fourth. Those three run pretty much nose to tail. It's about a second and a half back to who we think could be a challenge here. Ryan Otis running in fifth position. Timing and scoring kind of scared me that there was an off somewhere, but that's not the case, so I will continue on my way back here. Jason Galvin running in sixth, just ahead of the Candyman, Dustin Wardlow. The Racing Kangaroo in eighth. Go ahead, Sean.
There was a spin, and it was Dave Barber coming out of turn 11, loses the car right in front of the pit lane. He's able to get it back under power, but decides to pit as a result of that spin. We'll catch it on the replay here. You see him spinning into the pit lane. He decides to go ahead and spin it back around and actually take it in.
Not sure why Dave Whammy Barber was able to do that there. I think it was pretty clean. Not sure why he had to go into the pit lane.
May have been penalized for an unsafe pit entry soup right there at the beginning of the pit lane. To be honest with you, he may have had to go in, had no choice.
Not good news for the guitar playing accountant.
Wow, these guys need to hurry up, Soup. They're losing Jake at an incredible pace right now. They really need to pick it up. James Carhula digging really hard. Bringing Dan Guerin along with him, but man, again, they're every 300 to 400 yards, they keep losing tenths of a second to him.
Yeah, Wright is flying. He's out there cooking with hot fish grease right now. Up there by 3.5 seconds, and it continues to grow. Let's go back. There's a nice battle for 7th. This is the Candyman, Dustin Wardlow. He's about to be passed by Michael Gray. We're going to ride on board with Gray. I think the car from behind, there's the yellow machine.
Yeah, Michael Gray in the race center onboard camera. Team nailed it. Driver chasing, trying to catch Dustin Wardlow. Michael, a road ringer himself, from down under and looking to make some hay and get a move on Wardlow. Nice run through the turn. Gonna have to take it up the hill. Can he do anything down here in turn 9?
There you see in the car up in front, you can see on that onboard camera that's sitting leading the pack. There's a car slow. Let's find out who that is. That's Peter Edwards.
Slow. Yeah, he's limping around. That car's got damage on it. That TW12 not in good health, Sue.
Now, Peter was on the lead lap, but he was running at the back, so he must have picked up something there last time around. I guess he's just trying to limp that car around. A good job of staying out of the way for the most part, although he does not bring it into the pits. Maybe he's just trying to stay out of the way.
I guess. Probably going to have to try and roll with it. What a battle up here, though. 4-7. Wardlow trying to hang on to it. Actually in 6. Here comes Galvin on the outside. Soup up through the S's. Oh, they make contact.
Holy moly.
Wardlow. Wow, Wardlow's able to save it after catching contact there with Jason Galvin. Oh, Galvin, what a bully tonight, Sue.
So, Jason goes up to 6th position, Kinsella down into 7th, Gray, and then Wardlow. Those guys, go ahead.
Something interesting to note, Ryan Otis is starting to catch Michael Goodman, Dan Guerin, and James Carhula. He's about to add himself to this little party up here.
Yeah, Otis out there trying to gain on these guys. Absolutely right. As he is closing on Goodman, it's down to under a second. He will be there in no time. Oh, and now Havoc catches, had a spin right in front of the yellow car. That's Michael Gray got him.
Oh, too much curb. It's Kinsella that actually gets too much curb here, Soup, in the turn. Turn 8 right here, and he's going to just get a little, pops it up, and honestly, Michael Gray had nowhere to go. He's right there behind him. Gives him a little nudge, but that's going to hurt Kinsella. Don't see much damage on the car, but the time lost, incredible. Back to 14th.
I think Kinsella could have caught it. It wasn't going to go all the way around, but the question is how much damage did Gray get? Gray gave him a pretty good shot going by.
Gray has definitely got a little bit of damage on that right part of the wing. Going to have to try and ride that out till the pit stop. He should be able to get a new wing on that. Not seeing much else soon.
So now how does that play out in 6th position? Well, now you got Galvin and Gray running 6th and 7th. That's where the action has been. Wardlow in 8th. And then let's go up to what Sean was talking about, 4th position. And sure enough, look who's got into the party here, Sean.
Yeah, there's about to be a major contention for 4th position here, and all those positions in front of it as Otis has officially inserted himself into this little party these guys are having. And I would have to think they haven't invited him to this party, Soup. They left that invitation on the table.
Well, he's coming on the rookie right now, Michael Goodman.
And you know, another thing about Otis, notice new sponsor on the car, new paint job, a new livery for him this evening, HPP Simulations on board. I'm thinking he can't afford a set of those pedals, Soup. The guy's got a real race car. Because race car.
I would imagine. I think what he's done is actually installed those pedals. They're so good, he probably installed them in his race car.
Yeah. He's got an expensive race car, too.
We're talking about Ryan Otis right now. There you see him in the red and white livery, running in 5th position, trying to get around the rookie Michael Goodman.
Yeah, the more races we see Michael Goodman, and I think calling him a rookie it's almost insane to think of him as a rookie in anything. The guy's pretty darn good, Sue.
Newcomer to the series. Right now, though, Otis is on Goodman like a postage stamp, trying to find his way around. They get around the lap car. That's Tony Schowen. This is the best battle we got here right now. 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Grahula, Guerin, Goodman, and Otis.
Yeah, and honestly, the battle behind them is not a bad one either. Michael Gray doing a good job of holding off Galvin right now, and Dustin Wardlow, but I don't think those two are finished with him at all. Michael going to have to play defense here with that slightly damaged right wing until they make it to the pit stop.
Well, Gray has got around Galvin. Galvin was leading Gray, so remember? So Galvin either has made a mistake or Gray's got places to go. So, yeah, let's move the Racing Kangaroo up to 6th.
Actually, I did see Galvin get really squirrely out of the toe just a lap ago, and I think that might have been a result of that, actually.
Let's drop back if we can. How about we go back to 9th position as they work around the lap car here. Again, that is Schowen getting out of the way. This is a tight battle. Yeah. This is Hacker. Here comes Stouffer making a move, trying to peek on the inside. Watching the whole thing is Yazik.
Yeah, Yazik a little further back right now than I expected. Honestly, I figured he'd be up here near the front. Yazik pushing hard, but not having the speed right yet to contend. He is getting close, though, to Stouffer. Right up his wing there.
No pass made up front, so stay out here. Boy, passing is rough here, Sean. I thought it would be a little bit easier. Boy, we really haven't, other than mistakes, I don't think we've seen a real clean pass on the track yet.
No, Soup, we haven't. Obviously, that means passing is going to be a premium tonight. I think your best spot for picking up positions this evening.
Oh, he's off. There goes Stouffer. A mistake.
Oh, boy.
Right in front of Yazik.
And, boy, and that is a tough turn right there. That's a hard right-hander. Probably going to be in about 2nd gear right here, trying to find the grip, and he loses it. Maybe a little bit quick to the throttle, Soup. Loses that egg under the pedal there, and, wow, not a good result for him.
And we really didn't talk about it much, but the Armco is so close around here. It's hard. There's not a lot of runoff area, and boy, on a normal track, he might have been able to save that one. Now, what is this? We're looking at Galvin coming in.
Yeah, you know what? And Ryan Otis came in right before him. The dominoes are starting to fall. The pit window is open. Here we go. Okay, and Otis was the first of them to head down there. He is away. So is Galvin.
This is on the front of the pit window. Now, there are no full course cautions to come out to hurt these guys, so these are the guys we'll have to watch. Ryan Otis first out of the cars who have pitted. He's out ahead of Galvin. Otis now running in 18th position. He is our bookmark to watch. He's between Ed Tutwiler in 17th and Patrick Taylor in 19th. Let's go to P2. Side by side, here's the move on the inside. That is Guerin. On the outside is Grahula. Now they come in. Grahula will have the preferred position through 9. Guerin with a little bit of momentum. He's still going to be on the outside as they work through 10. He's going to have to make it work on the high side. Guerin trying to get that down. Don't know. Now he's going to have the inside line going into 10. But I think the momentum is going to go to Grahula. And he's not able to get the pass done, but Guerin gave him everything he could.
Danny Dan was certainly peeking there. He was trying to set him up. Oh, Dan, not such a good run, though, through the 90. It sets up Michael Goodman to get inside him up through the S's here. Ooh, almost made contact.
Couldn't tell you for sure, but I would bet that Michael Goodman pushed the pass there to get around. So now we have a pass on the track. Michael Goodman up to third. Dave and Penny's baby boy, Dan Guerin, back to fourth.
All right, Dustin Wardlow brought the Doers Candy Machine in. And they are out.
And Wardlow got out. Remember, he was in that battle with Galvin. I think he got out in front of Galvin. And look at this battle. There's the battle right there. Galvin gets around him. That's the blue and gold car. The KGET machine gets around the outside of Wardlow. That's a battle for 18th overall, second of all the cars who pitted. Now they're coming up behind.
Ooh.
This is Jack Bogan.
Be real careful here. Bogan's got to try and stay out of the way. He does. They get by clean soon.
Lots of cars on different agenda right now. We have guys who've come in.
Oh, Frank Beezer off the track, out of the inner loop. Everybody avoids him.
Oh, a hard hit. Happened right in front of Bluthenthal, gets by. Rory Collins does a good job of getting by, but this is a tough one. I don't think he'll be coming back from this, Sean.
Yeah, see Frank coming up out of the S's here into the long straight. And he is going to get maybe a little bit too much curb as he heads out of the inner loop. It sends the car around and hard into the Armco barrier. Right there, it just slips off and away. I'm sorry, into that tire barrier, but still, it takes its toll on the car. He's in the pit, still seeking repair on that machine.
Yazik and Dagla have come in. We'll keep an eye on Yazik, see how he fares in relationship to the other car who have pitted, which would be Jason Galvin, I guess. No, it's Ryan Otis who we're looking at. Otis, long gone, yeah.
Lots of cars in for service now, or just coming out from service.
Otis still the leader of all the cars who have pitted, running in 12th position. Ahead of Galvin and Wardlow. Yazik, fourth in that order.
Now, Soup, the pit delta right at about 30 seconds, 30 to 31 seconds, okay? Ryan Otis now 37, almost 38 seconds. Now 38 seconds behind our leader, Jake Wright. So that's the mountain he's got to climb right now. Jake is in. Otis just now coming through the toe.
Sean, as we watch this pit stop, what would be your guess? Would they take tires? I guess, yeah, they can probably get tires done in the amount of time it takes to put the fuel in, right?
Yes. Quick tire change, quick fuel.
We do those Renault 2.0s where the cold tires are always an issue. How are tires coming out on a pit stop here?
Not quite like the 2.0, not as sketchy, but still a little bit of heat needed to get these things to grip a bit. You do have to be a little careful.
Well, being careful right now is Jake Light. He is first out of all the cars who's pitted.
All right, and Ryan Otis just now getting down to the 90. Jake Wright is out. Looks like that gap is still, Soup, going to be about just under 10 seconds. So a perfect pit stop for Jake Wright is exactly what the doctor ordered.
Our contract requires us to put the camera on the new leader, which is right now Michael Goodman. He inherits that, I believe, from second position.
I'm sorry, Soup, Wardlow. Oh, and Galvin fighting again in the inner loop. Oh, Brian Yazik runs up on Galvin.
And now Wardlow out in front. Galvin, this is a battle for 10th right now. It'll change a little bit. These guys will move up if some of the cars in front of them still need to pit. That's Yazik in the mix as well.
Yeah, Yazik has gotten himself into the battle here with a great pit stop. But Wardlow having to really play some good defense. Let's go to James Krahula.
Oh, he's had a spin. It looks like, is that on the? That's the final corner. Is that coming out of 11, or is it 1? That's the final turn. It was 11. He looped it. He was your leader, I believe.
Yeah, and you know who else had a spin was Ryan Otis had a spin also, Sue. When I was trying to pick up the Krahula one, but we'll watch Krahula here again on camera.
Otis got a little help from Bolster.
Riding on board with the Race Center onboard camera.
Okay, here we go. We're riding on board with Gray. Now, what are we looking up ahead here at?
Oh, and he just gets by as he's going into the pit there. Close call.
Okay, and here's the Otis spin. He got a little bit of assist from Scott Bolster, I think.
Yeah, it was awful close, Sue. Awfully close.
And Scott, if you weren't involved in that one, I apologize. I had one quick look at it, so.
Right here in turn 8, and honestly, I think Otis started to lose it just before the contact. So
there we go.
That could have just been a result of, obviously the momentum of Otis's car slowing down and Bolster being right behind him there.
When in doubt, we should always give the benefit of the doubt to.
I think that angle showed it well. Yeah.
Good.
Boy, but Otis now, the chaser. Wardlow got by. Galvin now not too far behind him, and it doesn't look like he picked up any damage on that incident suit, but time definitely lost. Lots of it.
Now Jake Wright is back to the lead. And what we'll do here, let's take a second and then we'll run down your, so all the pit stops are done, we'll run down the entire order here for you. Let's go ahead and start with your leader. Pit stops are done. Jake Wright, almost 10-second lead over Michael Goodman. Goodman was out in the lead for a little while. He came in to take a stop. I'll do the top 5. Sean Dandy Dan Guerin running in 3rd. Nobody really around him comfortably. Michael Gray back there in 4th. But then we get to where the excitement has been. But it looks like Dustin Wardlow has left those guys behind.
Yeah, for now he has. But it's Ryan Otis that sits in that 6th spot with Jason Galvin chasing him right now. James Grahula falling back to 8th after his spin. Ron Hacker in 9th. Pierre Degla with a really solid run going here, Suit. Rounding out your top 10. He's up from 13th where he started.
We'll go back and pick up some of the mid-packers here in a minute, but let's look at 5th position right now. This is Dustin the Candyman Wardlow here, trying to get around. This is Tony Shallen who gets out of the way. The reason I want to focus on this is I think the faster car is running behind them. It's Ryan Otis. I think the only reason Otis is behind Wardlow is because Otis had that spin. So I think this is where Ryan's going to be looking to get this pass done here pretty quick.
Wow, I'll tell you what, a lot of spins, Soup. I'm a little bit surprised. I thought most of the guys had a pretty good handle on the track, but we've seen a few problems today. I think the 103-degree temperature not helping things a whole lot. The grip that you would expect out of the DW12 fading in some spots due to the heat on track.
Well, though, to be I guess, fair or unfair to the drivers to these days, they've known what the temperature is. This series doesn't spring it on them. There we see he's working coming up now. That's Dave Barber trying to get out of the way. Whammy Bar does a good job there. Like that nickname for Dave there? Dave Whammy Barber? Don't know how we've done so many races that it didn't dawn on me that that's where we were going. Let's drop back to 7th for a minute. This is Galvin being chased by Krahula.
Yeah, James, who we saw had great pace, Soup, makes a mistake, and well, there he is, sitting right there in 8th place, trying to set up Galvin here. You know, this is all going to be about that last and final pit stop right now, Soup. It's got to be on the money. And right now, your job is to pick up as much as you can to your opponent, with the leader being 22 seconds ahead of Jason Galvin. That's the road he's got to travel, the hill he's got to climb. Jake Wright is going to be a hard dude to catch at this point.
And there's a little bit of wiggle room about how much fuel you can put in. It doesn't really break up into equal thirds. So we're really not sure. Some of these stops coming up might be short. Some of them might be longer. So we really won't know how things stand exactly until that final pit stop is in. Yasik has had a spin, and he's able to keep it.
Oh.
No, he backs it in a little bit.
Yeah, and he gets the curb coming out of the 90. And boy, there's a spot on that curb. If you ride the middle of it, not good. Not good. It will definitely upset the car. I think he might have bottomed out just a bit, and it got the car loose. Brian back to the loud pedal. Just a scuff on the machine. I think that HPP simulation machine is going to be fine, but he loses a spot there, and it's got a lot of work to do soon.
Sean, do me a favor. Keep an eye on the battles for me, the ones we've been watching on. I'm going to run back some of these drivers we haven't talked about. Let's look at ninth place Ron Hacker. We haven't mentioned much from him. Go ahead and interrupt me if something comes up. Hacker running back there in ninth. Looking just ahead. In fact, let's go up a spot. This is Krahula. Look where he comes out right behind Galvin, Sean. So that's a battle for seventh between Galvin and Krahula.
Yeah, that one's not going away. Yeah, Krahula wants that spot back very bad. And they're going to get around Michael Peters as he's going to slow down, let these guys get through the 90 all by themselves. But Krahula definitely being a persistent one. And, you know, Ron's right back there in ninth. He's not that far back, Soup, only about a second.
Okay, give me a yell if something happens there as we ride off the back of Galvin looking at him. When we get a chance, once we get done with that onboard camera, look at 10th position, Pierre Degla. There we go. That passing is really rough here. It has been hard to find a pass. There's Pierre running in 10th right now. He's working his way around the lap car of Michael Peters.
Oh, Vincent Blumenthal with a spin in the toe.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and he stopped right now, letting a whole bunch of cars through.
A nice look might be from Michael Goodman, who just missed him on board. So let's watch here. First of all, we're going to
Stay
look
there,
at...
Vince. Stay there, Vince. Stay there.
Now watch this. Here comes Goodman. Stay on this for a second. Got him. There he goes. Gets by. That's your second place driver.
Yeah, let's look at this on board with the AGR Motorsports camera. Michael Goodman coming through the toe. Oh, there he is. He just missed him out of the toe.
And that's tough when you're out there in the racing line like that, but you just got to be careful, be patient.
Well, Vince didn't wreck the car and quite honestly did a really good job of letting everybody get through there, but the end result of that is Vince falls all the way back to 26th. Soup loses all those spots. He was having a really clean run.
Okay, this next pit window is about to open up. Let me see if I can get through a few more of these. 11th position, Bob Mikas running all by himself. And why this is important, we go back to 12th. Here's your points leader, Andrew Kinsella. Again, nobody to mess with him. He's got the lap car of Michael Peters ahead of him, running in 12th. We saw the issues of Brian Yosik. He's back there in 13th position. I can round out, at least get to maybe 20 here. Scott Bolster in 14th, all by himself, not in a real battle. George Anzaldo working his way through the inner loop right now in 15th.
George be happy with that. He was just looking to ride. He told me, I just want to ride around this place and get out of here clean with some good points tonight. And George putting forth a really good effort here so far.
I got a bit of a battle. Let's go back to 16th. This is Big Joe Hassert. And then in the United Airline machine, that's Ed Tutwiler. Can't remember the phrase that was on there that he was, we will...
Let us reaccommodate you.
Reaccommodate you. Tutwiler is hilarious. This is a good battle. This is Hassert, Tutwiler, and Limkeman running a battle for 16th.
Now, I do know that Joe will block him at least 3 times, and probably Joe and a few of the members will get that. But anyway, Joe doing a good job of holding Eddie off right now. Again, I really think it comes down to this next pit stop, Soup, which, to be really honest, we've got 12 laps left in this race. The window is open, okay? Come in anytime you're ready.
Let's look at Krahula. Has
a spin. Ooh, out of the inner loop. Out of the inner loop. He gets bit out of the inner loop, Soup.
And Hacker did a good job of getting by. I think Hacker got really sideways, but he was able to keep it going. Krahula having issues. He was running in 8th position at the time. Something happened to Jack Bogan. I hear him talking about something. but
Yeah,
I guess it's okay.
I haven't picked it up. I don't think he spun. Although the car is slow on track. Wow. Coming out of the boot, I'm seeing a little bit of damage on the car. I don't know exactly. He's really slow, though.
Oh, our director has found it because he's amazing. We're going to look here at Bogan. And then he waited a long time.
Oh, Jason Galvin in the pit. Update here. Jason Galvin's in the pit. This is going to be the first one, Soup. This is the first one that Robert Bluin's in.
Yep, here comes the final stop now.
Who's next?
Bluin pits from a little farther back. Galvin's somebody, he was running up in the mix there for a while. He's coming out now, going to cycle out in 14th. Good to go from there. It's good to see that Jason has actually got the car out of the pit lane and out there safely. He's had a couple incidents this season where he has ended races with late yellows from him exiting the pit lane. Good to see now. He's good to go. Got that bugaboo behind him.
George Zanzaldo making his call. Lots of drivers starting to make that call, Soup. Dustin Wardlow calling it out. He's coming in as he makes his way out of the boot. He's got Ryan Otis right behind him. Let's see if Otis is... Yeah, Otis is going to come in too. Going to stick with that dance partner.
They pit from 4th and 5th. Remember, that was one of the things we were watching Otis. We thought he'd get around Dustin, but he wasn't able to do it. Be interesting to see how it plays out here. Again, we don't know if they took a full fuel when they were in the first time.
There's Ron. Right behind him, Pierre. Both getting in very gingerly. Hit their marks, though. Get them in clean. Dustin Wardlow coming out.
Yeah,
Ryan Otis.
He's going to have to do it on the track. Now, he files out right behind Bolster. So that's really bad news for Otis. Not only did he not get out front, but now he's got another car between him. Scott Bolster still needs to make his stop.
Boy, and you know what? Knowing a little bit about Ryan Otis, I'm thinking he's sitting on those push-to-passes, Soup. So look for Otis to make a late charge here and maybe get himself in a position to pick up 1 or 2 spots.
Well, unless he wants his children to inherit it, he better start spending his money now. So now's the time, Ryan.
It's all about Jake Wright, though, isn't it, Soup? The leader has been awful good this evening.
12 seconds on Michael Goodman, who really also has been the best of the rest.
I mean, Goodman just had his fastest lap of the race, which was only about 0.2 of a second from the best lap of the race by our leader. So, yeah, Goodman's been great this evening. Just Jake is, when a kid is on, he's on. And tonight, he's on, Sue.
Let's drop back to 3rd because there is a little battle going on here. This is Guerin and Michael Gray. Again, is this about as much as a battle as we've seen? It's just a matter of following. Sean, if I didn't know better, I would say the cars are getting some aero push when they get behind them. Is that something that happens here or not so much?
Well, it's something that's common with the DW12, indeed. And, a couple of these turns, very, very high speed. And so, that being said, this aero package on the DW12, they will push just a bit. So you got to watch yourself. As we've seen, though, the passing opportunities to going on to that, they've just been practically non-existent tonight. I would think a lot of push-to-passes are being sat on right now. When we get down to about 5 laps to go, I think you're going to see things ratchet up just a bit between some of these drivers on track.
Now, unlike the new IndyCar League where they can actually push it for a little bit and let it off, that's not how these work, right? These are old school where you push it and it stays on for a while?
Right, exactly, yeah. You get that boost, and then when the boost is gone, it's done.
Our leader in and out. He is no longer in the lead, so at least we can say it is not wire to wire.
Nope, Goodman going to have that lead now, but Goodman still has to pit. In fact, our top three still have to come in for their last and final pit stops. Michael Goodman, Dan Guerin, and the Racing Kangaroo.
Those three drivers hoping for Martians to attack the Finger Lakes, and they called this race due to alien invasion, but I don't think that's going to happen. Next build.
Boy, and our leader, Michael Goodman, really fighting through a lot of traffic right now. There he is, getting by Ed Tutwiler. Sorry, Ed.
Well, his friends who've been out to dinner with him, he might be a little bit of a tight water. Pick up the check once in a while, Ed.
Well, Ed is back across the line and hanging in there, but Michael Goodman is still the leader, still hanging out there. Dan Guerin going to follow suit, so is Michael Gray. They are not ready to pit yet, Sue.
Well, there is a real issue here with this pit stop coming up. I expect Goodman to be able to get in and out without an issue, but it is pretty close back here between Guerin and Michael Gray. And again, we're not sure how much they took on their first stop, if they filled it up all the way.
Ooh, Bolster with a big spin coming out of the toe.
Oh, my.
Boy,
The
again,
whammy bar. Yeah, watch this.
Boy, and Michael Gray spun right behind him trying to avoid that. Ouch. No, I'm sorry, it was Pierre Degla that spun.
Now there goes Barber. And that looked like Guerin. Was that Guerin?
And there's Pierre. You see Pierre spin there late at the end of that replay. Tough break for Pierre. Was having such a great run.
Yeah, he was running up in 10th position. Gonna lose a spot?
Yeah,
my goodness.
He's gonna have to dig in because he's already had his second stop. He can't afford that loss of time.
Our leader's staying out. I hear the Racing Kangaroo says he's coming in this time by. So does Goodman. These tanks are as empty as a syrup bottle on a pancake social, after a pancake social. Right now, coming in, Gray.
All right, and I'm watching our lead. I'm watching Jake right now. He just got out of the toe. In the heel. I'm sorry, watching Jason Galvin. Wrong colors, Soup.
Oh. In the wall. We're seeing who was in the wall there. We can't pick that up.
That was Jared Turnbull coming out of the pits. Jared Turnbull coming out of the pit and hits it hard. Damages the right front suspension on his machine.
More money spent for Area 51.
Yes, that car is slow coming up the straight.
Okay, Guerin is out in front of the Racing Kangaroo by about the same gap that they went at. Wright has inherited the lead. Last guys to come in is Krahula still needs to come in. He's got to be coming in this time.
Yeah, viewers, again, my apologies. I was following Jason Galvin, and I was talking about Jake Wright. But Jake Wright is back to the lead suit. And he's about 13 and a half seconds to the good over Michael Goodman.
Let's go to 5th position. Give a little love to a guy who just cracked into the top 5. That's James Krahula. Enjoy it while it lasts, because I think there's a stop coming for him. Be interesting to see how far he actually falls down the order. Krahula working through the toe right now. No, correct myself. He's past that with the heel. Now he's up to the left-hander of 9. Coming into 10, and he should be veering off to the right here, working around 11, and let's see if he comes on in. Come on, don't make me a liar. There we go.
There he is. Yeah, James got all he could out of it. He's in. In fact, that was 13 lap suit for James on that stint.
Well, it'll be a short one. He doesn't need a lot. He only needs enough to go 5 more laps.
Jack Bogan with a spin out of the 90 as the leaders were coming through. Everybody gets by clean. Bogan's going to spin. Michael Gray was the last one to get by him there.
What'd you see here, Sean?
I was Jack getting through the 90 or trying to get through the 90. You see him here. He's going to finish up there and just comes out a little bit too wide to the left and spins it. Has to slow down, let a lot of people get by before he can merge. And apparently they're wrecking in the S suit.
Oh my goodness!
Oh,
yeah,
boy.
Jack Bogan.
Yeah, Bogan slow to get going after his spin. Gets hit by Bob Mikus. Sends Bogan up on his lid. Lots of cars trying to get by with Bogan's car in the middle of the track.
Daigle just missed him. That was the first car to get there.
There goes Jack up and over, and the car is going to come to rest right here in the middle of the track. Oh my!
That was Daigle. Yeah, that was Daigle going right under him. We're going to go under. Here we go. We all decided that we want to see what it looks like from Knight Daigle's point of view here.
Oh, on board with the no-name racing driver. Here it goes, Sue.
Scooch down in your chair.
Jeez.
Ugh.
Well, obviously Jack had some kind of problem with the car there, and it's Bob Mikus that, like I said, collected him, and that's unfortunate. But back to our leader, Jake Wright, in command, Soup. Boy, the laps are ticking down. A little less than 4 laps to go now. Michael Goodman's got what seems to be an unsurmountable distance here to cover.
He sure does. There's Michael Goodman in second. Director, how about a quick shot at 15th position? He is our hard charger. This is Big Joe Hassard. He's up 12 from 15th, or he started in 27th, now racing in 15th.
Yeah, real solid run for Big Joe Hassard, man. I'm really, really happy with that. Good evening from him.
The one more to give a little love to. How about racing in 23rd position? Another driver up 12, although I'm not sure if that's going to last. Oh, if this is a lap car going around, and we're talking about Robert Lewin. He started in 35th, up to 23rd. So again, 12 is the magic number for charging here today. Sean, is there a fight anywhere out there on the racetrack that we can find?
Yeah, well, it's Ryan Otis just got into Dustin Wardlow. It was coming out of turn 9. Ow, Wardlow is around. Several cars trying to get by. I'm sorry, Sue.
We're looking for it right now. What'd you see? It's on the screen there, Sean. That's Otis in 5th.
I think, honestly, Dustin started to lose it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, he started to lose it. Overcorrected. Otis does not make contact. Oh, boy. And then when he tries to get it, Dustin tries to get it swung around, Brandon Limpkeman almost wipes him out. Here's the spin. You see him overcorrect the hint. He's swatting flies there in the cockpit suit. And he's going to try and spin it around right here. Brandon Limpkeman going to come up on his right. You're going to see him just get by there. Oof. Tough break for Wardlow. Loses several spots there.
So Otis picks up 5th. Then where we were going before is the 6th position. This is Galvin and Kinsella.
Yeah.
A nice battle.
Oh, a really nice battle. So look at these two going at it. Kinsella trying to get this spot from Galvin.
This is with 2 to go, and this is probably our best one on the grid right now. Remember, Kinsella is your point leader. He missed his first top 10 last time out of Kentucky with a 13th. He is our featured driver.
Here come the push to passes. Michael Gray making a move on Derek Garrett into the inner loop. Looking to take that position. He does. Ooh, nice move by the racing kangaroo. On board with the race center onboard camera. The kangaroo going to get him right down to the inner loop. That push to pass.
My gosh.
I could tell he was on it because he ate him up down the straight suit.
That does make it hard on the commentators because with the push to the pass, a gap that looks insurmountable can be gobbled up pretty quickly with that magic button. So move Gray up into That'd be third spot now, right?
Yeah, he made his way to it. Made his way to a podium spot. The white flag has dropped, Soup. It's time to boogie, baby.
You missed last call, Boogie. Yeah, this is the last dance. Time when all the women start to look a little more attractive.
Oh, yes, sir. Last call. Last call. Been part of a few of those.
Battle for third. This is Gray we're looking at and Guerin. And I would say there's not going to happen here, but you just don't know how many aces they have up their sleeve. Look at the lap traffic up ahead as they work around Vincent Blumenthal. That's going to slow up Gray a bit. Meanwhile, our leader working his way.
Oh, Wardlow trying to pick up a position on Kinsella. Those two fighting really, really hard.
Leader now between 9 and 10. We'll try to cover all these other battles. He's going through 10 right now. He picked up a win earlier on a road course. He's going to go 2 for 2 on the twisty parts. It is. Defending champion Jake Wright wins round number 6, the Lionheart IndyCar Series. Let's go back to third position.
And Dandy Dan Guerin is not going to catch the racing kangaroo. Michael Gray gets third place. Dan going to have to settle for fourth.
Going back to this P6 battle. There's the blue and gold car. The KGET machine of Galvin. Oh, no.
Kinsella loses it. He's off. Give it to Jason Galvin. Kinsella going to have to settle for 7th. Dustin Wardlow, 8th place.
Looking at 9th position. That looks like it's going to be Ron Hacker. Looking to see if there's any other battle. Looks like everybody all separated by a couple seconds here.
Actually, George and Zaldo, I'm sorry. That's not a position fight, but George back here out of the toe, making his way out of the boot now. Looks like George going to wind up with a top 20 finish. He started 21st, Sue. Not a bad effort from George.
Not at all. 18 cars going to finish on the lead lap. And as the music is about to play, you've been watching GSRC's coverage of the Grand Prix at the Glen. And while the racing is over here at the Empire State, our broadcast is not. We're going to take a break, but we'll return shortly to launch into the Lock Precision Rocketing post-race show, where we'll run down the complete finishing order, talk to some of the drivers, and check in with Crackers to see if anyone on the YouTube chat has the correct trivia answer. Enjoy the HPP commercial. Welcome back to the southern tip of New York's Lake Seneca as we launch into the Lock Precision Rocketry post-race show. Soup and Crackers here to review the Grand Prix at the Glen that you just saw here on the Global Sim Racing Channel. You know, GSRC has been broadcasting races for nearly 5 years, but for over 30 years, the name Lock Precision has been synonymous with mid and high-powered rocketry. Lock Precision manufactures a full line of high-quality precision fit components to meet your building, repairing, and customizing needs. For more information, please visit www.lockprecision, that's LOCprecision.com. Okay, what we're going to do right now is look at the finishing order for the race that we just saw. Round number 6 here at the Glen. And he had a road race earlier, a victory there. He picks up another one. Of course, I'm talking about the defending champion, Jake Wright, who was really a man among boys here today. But a great run from our second-place driver, Michael Goodman, out-dueling Michael Gray for the third position there. Dandy Dan Guerin picks up 4th spot. Ryan Otis started 5th, finishing in 5th. Rounding out the rest of your top 10, Jason Galvin, Andrew Kinsella, our point leader, and he's going to still hang on to those points, we think. Dustin Wardlow in 8th, Ron Hacker, and last round's winner, Bob Mikas in 10th. Sean?
All right, then we fall to 11th. It's going to be a good night for Pierre Degla. He finishes 11th. James Carullo, what could have been for that man in second at one point, finishes 12th. Brian Yazik, 13th. Scott Bolster, up 8 spots to finish 14th tonight. James Paulson, 15th. The Big Joe Show. Big Joe Hassert, 16th tonight. 11 spots, Soup. George Enzalo, 17th, up 4 himself. Patrick Taylor, 18th. Jared Turnbull with a 19th place finish. And Chris Lanini going to round out your top 20.
Then hidden blackjack is Rory Collins. The kid would do better if someone would give him a paint scheme. So he's still out there racing a traditional blue paint scheme. Someone give him something custom out there. Brandon Limpkeman in the double duck spot. Here's your big mover. Up 12 spots is Robert Blue in 35th to 23rd. Ed Tutwiler, saw him run into some problems. Still only finishes 1 lap down in 24th. Quarter century mark, Vincent Bluthenthal, Matthew Mercer, 2 laps down in 26th. 27th, 28th, 29th, and 30th go to Tony Showen, Dave Whammy Barber, Michael Peters, and Jack Bogan.
All right, and then the last few cars in the field here. Mitchell Moeller, 31st. Frank Beezer, making his debut tonight, will finish 32nd. 33rd goes to Christopher. Peter Edwins, 34th. Jason Robarge, 35th. Jonathan Goke, the real thing, 36th. He got caught up early. Tough night for him. Ian Adams is going to finish 37th tonight, Soup. Something we forgot to mention this evening, Soup, and I want to get that in right now. It was the 75th start tonight for Robert Bluen. Made his 75th start here. He's only the second driver to eclipse 75 starts here in the Lionheart IndyCar Series, and congratulations to him. Wasn't the best night on track, but he did pick up 12 spots and finish 23rd and start his 75th race, so I think that's a win. We'll call it a win for him.
Yeah, on that milestone, sure, he's the hard charger. You can't beat that. Well, let's really call this a win, and I have to talk to Jake Wright. I don't know what I'm going to ask you, Jake. It was just impressive. I guess you like Watkins Glen.
Yeah, I like this place. I think really tonight was just whoever had the pole had the race.
Well, then let's talk about that, because Sean and I were noticing in the during the race, passing was really tough here. Now, I know you didn't have to get around anybody other than lap traffic, but you certainly know it was difficult.
Yeah, I remember that from last year where luckily I was able to get one pass in, but just that's how I figured this week would go, so I spent a lot of time just trying to get one qualifying lap in, just something that might get me up front, and luckily it worked.
Well, let's go ahead. We'll leave here. Let's go ahead and talk about the future. A big one coming up next week. Our first Triple Crown event is at the Tricky Triangle. Now, I know ovals aren't your forte. You haven't had much luck on them so far. How do you feel about Pocono?
I like Pocono. I've had a decent record there. I got my first ever Lionheart win at that place. But next week I have to get something done if I want to try to get into first. Since it's double points and all. And last season I kind of struggled, I found, with these Triple Crown races. So I like the track. I'm excited, and I'm just hoping I can get some good result out of it.
Well, Sean, and you can probably, Jake, jump in on this one. I guess if you had to pick an oval that was the most like a road course, I guess it would be Pocono.
Yeah, I would say so. I think it's pretty much, well, maybe Motegi, maybe.
There you go.
somewhere-
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Motegi, but Pocono's definitely a close second.
All right, Jake. Well, we're going to watch you at the big track next week. Double points. Good luck. You had a slow start this season. You're working your way up. Keep it up.
Thanks. See you guys next week.
And also, we should mention that Jake Wright, with this win, I think, Sean, he becomes the all-time Lionheart IndyCar race winner.
He does. In fact, that does throw Jake up to now the all-time leader in wins. He surpasses the great Jesse Vincent, was tied there with him for 11 wins for a long time. Now he's got the dozen wins to Jake Wright. But hey, let's talk about this rookie, Mike Goodman, who manages to finish second tonight on the podium. The New York driver has a great run tonight. Mike, congratulations, buddy.
Thank you, sir. How are you, Sean? How you doing, Soup?
Very good.
Man, we're great. It's all about you right now, though. You had a great qualifying effort. Jake just said in his interview it really was about the qualifying effort tonight. What was the action like for you out on track?
No, it was intense. A lot of clean racing out there. I knew I was in trouble when I was on the outside at the start of that race, but fortunately there was a lot of give and take, and I was able to fall into fourth. And everything worked. Worked the plan. I was fortunate to get around, Dan and James Krahula. And then after that, it was just trying to stay on the track and be consistent.
Now, Mike, this is, I understand this is your best finish you've had so far in the Lionheart IndyCar Series.
Yes, it is.
All right, man. Well, you've got one left to knock out then. One more thing on the bucket list to get there is the win.
Yep. Hopefully, we'll see though. Treat every race as a new race. So anything can happen.
Well, Mike, you haven't been here for a very long time, but it seems like you've really started to fit in with the guys. And like I said before, we keep seeing you move up. What was this? Fourth and second for the last two races. Not bad. You're finding your stride here.
No, actually, this whole season, I've just really had one driver error, and that was at Motegi. The first two races, the caution just flew at the wrong time. And like I said, the only driver error I had was speeding on coming off of pit road was at Motegi. But besides that, I've been pretty happy with my performance overall.
Well, Mike, we wish you the best. Now we're heading to Pocono. What do you think about your oval program?
I'm happy with it. I'll find out when the setup's posted and I start doing all my practice laps, and getting bombed here with "I love your New York accent." Thank you, Soup. I love it too. But no, I'm happy with the my oval program. Really, that's all I could say.
All right.
Before you shut me down, I just want to thank George for giving me the opportunity to run in the league. I want to thank his admin team, and it's probably been the best league I've ever been on in my entire career of sim racing. And you guys do a hell of a job. And thank you for broadcasting the shows.
Well, Mike, thank you. We appreciate it. We always like a compliment, but we really enjoy watching you drive, man. That win is coming maybe next week at Pocono. We'll see you there, my friend.
Thank you, sir. You guys have a nice night.
All right, Soup. Now it's time to talk to the racing kangaroo himself, Mr. Michael Gray, from all the way down in Sydney.
Yeah, talk about accents. We just got the good New York one there from Goodman. This one's going to be really strange. What time is it in Australia right now?
G'day, guys. It's 4 to 2 in the afternoon. So not pretty good after.
There you go.
Pretty good arvo.
Hey, well, a nice third place finish for you. This is your best result so far. Boy, Michael, though, passing almost impossible out there.
Yeah, you had to make all the right moves in all the braking zones. And I can tell you at the end of the stint, I was struggling with a bit of understeer, but good pit stops, a few mistakes from a few people. I mean, just gifted me the positions and had a good race with Dan at the end, and just thought, hey, let's go for it. And with a bit of team talking, we had a clean race at the end.
Let's talk a big picture here for a second. I'm going to give you your finishing so far. You've had a third, a fourth, a fifth, a sixth, and a seventh. Then you throw in there a 16th and an 18th. Take into account drop races. You're sitting in third right now. Man, you are in the hunt for a championship.
Oh, it's too early to talk about championships yet. It's still a long season. But, wow. Sitting third already. I mean, after Imola, I was surprised that I was sitting in second. And then after Kentucky with the gamble with me, Dan, Ian, and Galvin, we just had zero grip. Coming back and finishing third here at the Glen is such a great, just a great feeling. I feel like Danny Ricciardo. I just can't stop smiling.
Well, get your rest, man, because we're coming back quick, and it's double points at Pocono. So be ready and look forward to another good finish from you.
I'm looking forward to Pocono after a few years of bad luck there. I'm confident, except I won't be able to beat Mr. Pocono, Jonathan Gogue. So yeah, hopefully we can do.
All right,
Mike, we'll have a shoey ready for you at Pocono.
Oh, thank you. First, I need to win.
Okay, there you have it. That's our Racing Kangaroo. Now we're going to wrap up with Dave and Penny's baby boy. He came in fourth. He was in the podium for a little while. Sean's going to talk to Dan Guerin.
Dan and Soup, you could definitely talk to him too. But Dan, great run out there today. I mean, you held serve, but you let that kangaroo around you. What happened there?
Well, I just tried to hold him off the best I could. He's definitely fast. He's definitely a road course guy. He just got a run on me off turn one there. It's like, Dan, just let you know, by the time we get to the bus stop, I'm probably going to make a move on you. And I'm okay. Down the back stretch he went, and right next to me, I'm like, okay, I'm still ahead. It's going to give. So I just slammed on the brakes and let him go.
Did you have any push to passes? Did you have any push to passes left there?
I still had one push to pass left, and coming the last lap, coming around the boot there, he's like, Dan, you got one push to pass left, don't you? I didn't say a word.
Crickets.
So as soon as I came off the last turn, I hit that button, and if it was a longer straight, then maybe it could have had something for him. But
well, Dan, listen, great points night here at Watkins Glen, but it's all about the double points next week, the first Triple Crown race. Share with us your feelings about Pocono, sir.
Well, last year, Goku and I went 1-2. I was going to try to have one more shot at him there at the very end, but caution flew and solidified our 1-2 finish there, which I was fine with. So hopefully next week I can get one on him, but Pocono is his track, though.
And Dan, you want to make a little comment about the rear wing of your car?
Yeah. Scott Bolster there. He, I love the guy. He's a great guy already. I can't wait to see him here at Iowa. But he would make posts on Facebook there, and I just like, God dang it, Scott. And just went from there. So I went and put it on the car. Had Jake do that up for me. So
nice. Well, Dan, we'll see you next week back at Pocono. Thanks for taking the time to come chat with us. And safe travel, my friend.
Thanks a lot, Sean.
All right, Soup. That was Dandy Dan Guerin. And, well, As always, certainly a lot of fun to talk to him. A lot of fun watching him get around this track tonight. Pocono is going to be exciting. Soup, I want to share something with everybody watching right now as we start to wrap up the broadcast.
Okay, I'm listening.
Go to the Google Play Store. If you got an Android phone, go to the Google Play Store and put in Lionheart IndyCar Series. You know what you're going to find? You're going to find a brand new app. Yes, you can follow the Lionheart IndyCar Series on their own app on the Google Play Store. Check it out, Lionheart IndyCar Series. It's free. Yes, it's free. You're all about the free. Go ahead and pick it up.
I understand now. I thought it was like a course before dinner, but this is like something you can use on your phone then to follow the league.
This is a hot app. Yes, not a cold one.
Okay, got it. I thought it was an appetizer. This makes more sense to me. Hey, I'd like to thank everybody at, here's some unsung heroes that we didn't talk much about, and this is the guys at First Medical Equipment. They've been the source of medical supplies and equipment in Burlington, Iowa area for years because of their superior commitment to provide the absolute best in product quality and customer service. For more information, please visit www.firstmedequipment.com. Also, HPP Simulations. Nothing beats the feel of a true hydraulic braking system in the world of sim racing. Designed and manufactured in the USA on state-of-the-art CNC equipment. HPP's hydraulic pedals and their accessories set the standard for simulation racing. For more information, please visit hppsimulation.com. Crackers?
Race fans, do you need some meat in your life? That's right, Von Hansen's Meats. We want to thank them for sponsoring the Countdown to Green, the new old-fashioned meat market and butcher shop. And yes, we also want to thank Lock Precision Rocketry. It doesn't happen without them. We want to thank them for sponsoring the post-race shows. Remember, fly hard, fly safe, fly lock. And thanks to everyone at the Lionheart IndyCar series for organizing the series and contracting with GSRC to broadcast.
Not to mention the company's equipment software that you see on the screen right now that we use on the broadcast. And how about the original music? That's thanks to Eric Ethel and Casey Lalonde. See the screen for how to contact each of them.
All right, and the Lionheart IndyCar Series will return in 1 week, May 3rd. Yes, into May already at Pocono for the Dirty Blinds 300, the first jewel in the Lionheart Triple Crown. GSRC will be there, and we hope you join us. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, your best bet is globalsimracingchannel.com. And yes, you can find us on Twitter at GSR Channel and Facebook. Just type in Global Sim Racing Channel. We'll come up right there.
And finally, as promised, we're going to give you the answer to our trivia question. Who are the only two drivers to own two jewels of the Triple Crown, with one of the jewels being the Indy 500? Lots of drivers have them at Le Mans and Monaco, but only two have Indianapolis 500 and another one. Sean, did we get an answer? Did we stump them again?
You know what? A winner on track, a points leader in this championship this season, and a winner on YouTube tonight. Andrew Kinsella is the man with the right answer there.
Yeah. I suppose we should have gone to a mid-race interview and seen. And of course, the answer is AJ Foyt and Juan Pablo Montoya. Each of those, Foyt, of course, has the Le Mans win, and Montoya has the Monaco win. Well, thank you for that one, Advocates. Thanks for playing. And finally, then, on behalf of the man whose voice you just heard, which was Sean Ambrose, our director, Amjad Jamal, and our camera artist, Dougie Beard, I'd like to thank all of you for watching. With that said, we're off to have fun, storm of the castle. So until next time, which is just in a few days, 7 days from now at Pocono, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.